Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac Show. I said cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm a bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed to impress. One of a kind girl. I was brought into this world wrapped up in pearls. I love to mingle, though my husband reminds me I'm not single. I meet and greet both the famous and the elite. I ride in limousines, drinking the finest champagne, wearing furs, dazzling diamond jewelry. A girl can't complain. I live the upscale life, dining in the finest restaurants, eating the best caviar for free. And no matter how much I enjoy myself, they can't charge me.
Hello, darlings. Welcome back to Cognac's Corner. I'm Cognac Wellerlane, and we are here at the Trump Bar, located at 845 United Nations Plaza. And I'm here with this wonderful, charming young man who is a big star, a big soprano star. Introduce yourself to the camera, darling.
Hi, my name is Brandon Hannan.
Brandon, tell my audience, when did you start in show business?
Well, it started off when I was younger. My mom was an actress when she was, when I was growing up with her. Her name is Helen Primus, by the way. So we would do plays here and there, Mary Poppins, Everything in the Garden. And I guess since I was so prone to it at a young age, I just developed to love it. And that's how it really started off when I was younger with my mom. And then I started to do independent movies, some commercials, and then obviously I landed on The Sopranos, which was a big deal for me.
I bet.
Yeah.
But how old were you when what was your first audition? Do you remember that? I mean, maybe you don't remember, you were an infant, I don't know. But do you remember the exact age you started in the business?
I can't tell you an exact age, but I remember one audition when I was like 3 or 4. And myself, I used to be a very shy person when I was younger, so I remember it was a commercial, and they wanted someone who was actually really shy, so it worked out in my favor, to be honest. I got lucky.
Audience about The Sopranos. How did that happen for you? How did you get cast in that role?
Okay, it's Vito Junior Spatafore.
Okay, tell my audience how that happened.
Okay, well, I got a call from my agent saying The Sopranos were interested in me for the role, Vito Jr., and there was already one kid that was playing the role currently, but they didn't believe that he had the potential to do it. So they wanted to cast someone for this more of an intense role, I guess you could say. So we got the call in. I thought it was just like a bully role, some goth maybe, just a couple lines here and there. So when we got there and we're like, oh, do you have the sides? And they say, oh, you didn't get sides yet? This is a big deal. You can't just do this. You can't walk in and do this. It's impossible. And, well, my mom's like, well, let's see. Let's just see the script, see the sides, see what we can do. And she thought that I could nail it. I looked over, I thought, might as well go for it. Why not? It's The Sopranos, might as well audition for it. And what happens is they turned out to love me. I was called the next day, and I didn't even have to go in front of the creator of The Sopranos.
Because that usually is the case. It's usually many, many interviews. They make you keep coming back. And I mean, I think his name was Chase, David Chase, right? Did you actually get to meet David Chase? Did you have to audition for him?
That's what I'm trying to say. I didn't have to audition for him, which is unheard of. Like usually, everyone has to go in front of David Chase.
Yes.
Because he wants to make sure he's the right part for the role, and they just booked me the next day.
He's the boss.
He's the boss. But yes, I did get to meet him after my shooting when I met the crew and the cast. He's a great person.
So it was just one audition and you had it.
Just one audition.
That's amazing. That's really, really amazing. Now, how long did you work on The Sopranos?
I worked on it for about 2 weeks. I would shoot after school. Like, let's say I would shoot on a Friday or a Thursday. They would kind of work with my hours, so I could go to school in the beginning and then take like the hour of the rest of the day off to go shoot. But it was good. I would shoot 2 to 3, I think maybe 4 times 1 week. So it wasn't like too stressful, but it was really good. It was a great experience.
What does it feel like to work with James Gandolfini?
It's breathtaking. It's just, as I was sitting down just rehearsing, like sometimes I couldn't even say it because I just couldn't like get over how amazing this is. I mean, he's a great actor, and once you get into it, it's easy to bounce off of him because he's just such a great person. He's a terrific actor. So it just feels so natural, and it's just a great experience, I thought.
Sounds like you had the best time of your life working on that show. It really does. Your mother tells me she still gets tables in restaurants because of it.
Yeah. If they're ever booked, she says, oh, well, we have Vito Jr. here. And they're like, oh, well, take this seat.
It works, darling. It works. So tell me now what you're working on right now. Are you working on any movie projects, any TV projects?
Well, right now I'm involved with a film festival, the Long Island International Film Expo. I have a movie I did a couple of years ago that's in the running. It's called Slingers. I play the role hamster. It's a funny short, and I'll see how that's going. And I have an upcoming feature film, but it's under wraps right now, so I can't really talk about it.
I know, darling. I'm an actress. I know all about that. I know all about that. So, but that sounds exciting. You got a lot of things going on, a lot of great, interesting things going on for yourself. Is there any actor in Hollywood that you aspire to be just like?
I have to say James Gandolfini. I mean, I was just at his play that he was recently in Did you see it?
No, not yet, but I want to go see it.
I saw it last night with my mom, and just like the whole thing is about how it comes from a nice, calm, relaxed mood to a very stressful, fighting, angry type of play, and it was just unbelievable, the contrast, and it was so great. I mean, I just wish I could be just like him. He's so good, and I actually got to meet him after, say hello, how you been, because the last time I saw him was at the Emmys in Hollywood last year.
Oh, you went to the Emmys?
Yes, I did.
See at that event, besides James Gandolfini, of course.
I mean,
all the big stars.
I mean, I was just, after I walked by and get my pictures taken, I was just seeing one after the other. It was just unbelievable.
I know. Well, that's how you draw your inspiration, too.
Sure, yeah.
Your mother must have loved that.
She was on cloud.
She wasn't in heaven.
Yeah.
I would have been in heaven. That's one thing I'd love to go to, the Emmys. Yeah. I've been to the international Emmys. That is the Emmy Award ceremony that covers all of the world, internationally, Europe and Asia. Okay. But I've never been to the Emmys in Hollywood. That I would like to go to.
Right, yeah.
So do you draw your inspiration from older actors too? Watch the old films?
I do sometimes. I mean, my mom watches Bonanza, all those types of shows.
You should, as an actor, you should watch old films.
That's right, yeah.
And just study their technique. And I mean, I'm sure your acting teacher tells you too, just to look at how the actors from yesterday, because you could always take from what you learn from these actors and become your own individual personality. I mean, that's what Michael Jackson did too, I don't know if you know that. Michael Jackson would study films that Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly and even John Travolta, he would study how these people danced, how they moved. And that's something you should do too. I think you should do that also.
I've done that a couple times. Like to get in the character, I would watch a film about something that's related to what I have to do for my upcoming role.
You look like a young Leonardo DiCaprio. Do people tell you that?
A lot of people tell me that. My mom says it all the time.
Tell my audience, is there a website that they can go to find out more information about you and all your acting projects and anything that you might be working on?
Oh, sure. It's www.brandonhannan.com. And whatever you want to know about me is on there. My resume, my profile, all my works, my films, commercials, TV work. Everything's on there.
You gonna give me a kiss goodbye? We'll be back in a moment, darlings, with more celebrity interviews. Keep watching. Pink Champagne Kisses.
For the Cognac Show. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh. I said
been a Crybaby Productions, darlings.